Let's have a session on stakeholders. So stakeholders are anyone with an interest or influence in the business. They can be internal or external. Examples of internal stakeholders: owners, shareholders, employees. They are all internal to the business. Examples of external stakeholders: those that are outside the business. Customers, of course, suppliers, and the local community. Now, each of these stakeholders, whether they're internal or external, will have objectives. Objectives for owners will be to achieve their objectives. Shareholders might be to increase their dividends or to increase their share price. Employees might be to get more training, get a higher wage, get a higher salary. External stakeholders, so customers, it could be to have improved price, improved quality, improved reliability. QPR, hoops, hoops, hoops. Suppliers, well, suppliers will have an objective, which will be to increase their profits via higher sales to the business. The local community, they will have an objective. It might be that they want to have no environmental issues. That could be noise, it could be air pollution, it could be traffic congestion. So they are all types of objectives to the stakeholders. Now, important thing to recognise is that stakeholders amongst themselves might have conflicts. Example of a classic conflict would be the board of directors. Well, the board of directors, you could simplify that as the managers of the business. Well, they might look to increase dividends. And they might do that, and they're going to have the support of shareholders who will be happy that dividends are going up because they are greedy and that's more money for them. But on the flip side, employees, well, they might oppose this increase in dividends because there might be an opportunity cost here. There's a limited amount of profits that could be used for these divvies. So, in terms of employees, well, it might be that they are opposed because it's at the expense of training, so at the expense of pay rises for them. So that's a classic conflict, a classic beef. Now, if we're thinking about conflicts, one thing to think about if you're looking to evaluate in terms of who might get their way in this conflict, then you might use something called a stakeholder map. A stakeholder map, you're thinking influence and interest, low, high, low, high. And you might want to put the particular stakeholder in the right quadrant. Example, if they've got low interest, low influence, well, put minimal effort into them. On the flip side, if they've got high influence, they've got high interest, well, they're a key player to you, so you might want to think about how you manage them because they're super, super important to you. And the last thing to remember is don't get confused with stakeholders and shareholders. They are different things. I'll see you at the next session.